Okay, so I'm somebody who is really about knowing your purpose, knowing your call, and working to fulfill whatever that call is. And a lot of people do not know their purpose. It took me a very long time. I just recently got to know my purpose. So I would like us to talk about how you can possibly know your purpose. And it is important to know that each and every one of us, we carry some kind of purpose with some kind of call. Like Martin Luther King said, if you're going to sweep, make sure you are the best sweeper. So if your calling is to be a sweeper, make sure that everybody knows that you are one big time sweeper. Like you just don't sweep. Your sweeping is like you a cleaner, but like you do it and you add value to a whole lot of people's lives. We all have our calling. Not all of us are going to be medical doctors. Not all of us are going to be lawyers. Not all of us are going to be teachers. Not all of us are going to be nurses. You name it, dancers, musicians. Not all of us are going to be that. But we all have specific callings upon our life. We all have a specific purpose we're supposed to accomplish. And the first place to look to know what your purpose is from within, because you carry it within. And a lot of times, I just, if I tell you that I recently found my purpose, I mean I literally found my purpose. It's not even it's not even 6 months since I found my purpose. And all this time in my life, I wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure what my purpose was. One way that I got to know my purpose, there was a time like I kept applying, I wasn't getting jobs. I ended up having to be at home for a very long time. So if you're at home for a very long time, you tend to think more, and you tend to do a lot of more soul searching. I wasn't watching television. I could have spent that time watching soap operas or maybe some of these television shows, but because I wasn't watching all these television shows to distract me, it forced me to look inside. It forced me to soul search. And I discovered some amazing things about myself. I discovered what I really enjoy doing, that I would do even if I'm not paid to do. But all this time in my life, I just couldn't figure out what my purpose is. I went to law school. I like to fight for justice, but if I had to choose between creating fashionable stuff and my fashion empire, and I write songs and writing songs and singing and all of that. If I had to choose between that and law, I'll definitely choose those. I think I'm an artist. Deep down within, I'm an artist. I remember when I was young, I used to do a lot of painting. I'm an artist. I stopped doing that, but I think fundamentally I'm an artist, and if you ask me to choose, I'll choose that over law. But I'm not going to give law up, because I believe in justice. I believe in fighting for people. But it took me a while to know my purpose. So I think maybe some of the things that held me, I would discuss them, and hey, it could possibly help another person, because it is important that we all fulfill our purpose before we die. So, okay, let me look. First, like I said, you need to do a soul search. Like, do a soul search. Spend time alone with yourself. Spend time alone with yourself. And ask yourself, like, if you had the financial freedom and you didn't have to pay bills, or you had money to pay bills and like money was not an issue, what would you do? Like, what would you do if you're asked to do like whatever it is that you do? It has to add value to another person's life. It can be just your hobby, like, or your hobby is not cutting it, but like let's say if playing baseball is a hobby, maybe for you is not as a purpose, but for another it may be a hobby. So whatever it is, if it's adding value to another person's life, then we'll say it is your purpose. What else? So like for me, I just couldn't figure out what my purpose was. I was so confused, and I wasn't even thinking about the fashion and all those things, because I had canceled them out of my life. I didn't believe myself to think that if I created clothing or stuff, people would purchase them. So I gave that idea up a long time ago. So when I was doing my soul session, fashion was not part of it. I knew I like interior designing and all that, but I thought probably do that as a hobby because I didn't think I would be able to gain enough income to support myself. Yeah. Self-esteem issues. Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't pursue all those things, but I knew I liked them. I like interior design. I like fashion. I like styling. I like all those things, but I just didn't pursue them because I didn't think I could make an income from them. So one thing I did was I'm a Christian, so I fasted and prayed, and the very first answer I got, I couldn't accept it. Like, I'm gonna sing. I didn't know how to sing. I couldn't hold the notes, but that's what I heard clearly, that I was gonna sing, and there were other things, ministry duties included. But like, I was like, how on earth am I gonna do that? Because I can barely retain Bible verses anyhow. That yeah. So I didn't believe it. A whole lot of things happened. I'll probably discuss that in another video. But while I was in law school, my spirit was still not, like, I was not at peace with myself. My soul was still searching. I still thought there was something I had to do, and law was not necessarily my purpose. And if it was my purpose, I just want confirmation. So I went on a 40-day fast. And to my shock, what I heard again was I was supposed to sing. And once I applied myself to, like, I joined my church choir, and a friend sent me a song. She wanted me to sing it back to her, or like do a voice note and send it back to her. And to me, she was just singing, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit. She was just doing that from A to Z for about 3 minutes. That's all she was doing. I was like, nah. So I had to add lyrics to that tune. And from there, I started writing songs, and I have over 200 songs. So I was like, man. So yeah, probably the singing thing is, I need to take it seriously. So I've taken basic vocal lessons, not much, but I need to take advanced vocal lessons because I'm so convinced that singing, songwriting, fashion, all those things are part of my calling. And I need to work at it, like develop the skill and get better at it. So for you, what you want to do is do your soul search. Spend time with yourself. Spend time with yourself, not watching TV and listening to music, like the radio and stuff. Spend time with your alone time, alone quiet time with yourself, and do your soul search and ask yourself, if money was not a problem, what would I do that could add value to another person's life? And pray about it too. Spirituality is very important, and finding your purpose and being able to accomplish your purpose. Spirituality is very important. So it is important you find a purpose. Like I think you can be called a successful person once you've been able to accomplish your purpose, because you have a purpose. All of us have a purpose. It doesn't matter what it is you do. We all have a purpose. If you're a cleaner, and that's your passion, that's your purpose, because you're adding value to another person's life. You're making a place clean, you're making the environment healthy for another person. We all have a purpose, so we should make time and try and find out who we are. That's a question a lot of us are not able to answer. It's very important we know who we are. Like, I did not know, I knew part of who I was. I didn't know the entire story. But spending time with myself, and alone time with myself, and doing my soul search, I was able to answer a lot of questions. And for by all means, listen to a lot of motivational messages and messages where they help you in your quest for purpose, because it is important. I know I would die, and I'm not scared of death, and what I was really scared of was dying without having accomplished my purpose. I think we all need to find out what our purpose is and accomplish it. So for sure, you need to know who you are, you need to know what makes you tick, and you need to know that whatever makes you tick adds value to another person, and the rest will come. The rest will come later. The rest will take care of itself. We hear it being said a lot of times, but Money is very important, but we shouldn't let money be the deciding factor of what we do all the time, because we all have a purpose and it's important we accomplish it. And you can then call yourself a successful person if you've been able to accomplish your purpose. And in doing this, like, now that I've found my purpose, I still need to make money to be able to accomplish my purpose. So I'm doing other jobs that are not necessarily, I don't believe, as part of my calling per se, but I'm doing the necessary to be able to accomplish my purpose, because I need money. For me to get vocal lessons, I need money. For me to be able to build a fashion empire, I need money. For me to be whatever it is, I need money. So I need to do what I need to do to be able to do what what I want to do, which is my purpose, my calling. And I think we should aim to do that. We shouldn't just exist like paying bills, living from paycheck to paycheck. No, 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 no. We can all get out of it. We can all get out of it. There's so many people who got out of that. We can get out of that too. We don't have to say that, oh, woe me. No, 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 woe you. You can get out of it. A lot of people were really down, they were really poor, they really they didn't have even food to eat, but they were able to get out of it. You and I can get out of it. We have no excuses, no excuses, no excuses. We're going onward and we're going upward. No excuses, no excuses will make it. Information about my outfit will be below. We need to live our purpose, and we're going to accomplish our purpose. And to God